Hey, what's up, Terrell? Not much, just working on stuff, trying to plan things out. I think I forgot to do the trim on here. Hey, what's up, Raz? Alright, so I did the black trim here. I'll have to do the red trim here after I do the black. And I think we're going to do black, 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 red, red, red. So hey, raccoon. What do you mean you couldn't get it? You just couldn't layer it correctly, or it just wasn't working? Oh, okay. Maybe you just over painted? Maybe that was the problem? Wait, you don't have an airbrush? I thought you did. This was silly pretty. I don't think you'd have to clean it all that much. It's really not that hard to clean it. Once you learn how to break it down, it's really easy. Would make your life a lot easier though if you did get an airbrush. Well, I mean, yeah, it's just a hobby, but I mean, it's, I don't know. I just feel it would be, you can step up your game and you can have a little bit more fun with doing your stuff. I mean, at first, I'll be honest. At first, when I got mine, I was scared as hell. You know, I was like, oh man, you know, how am I gonna take care of this thing? But after a while, it just becomes like a sort of like a screwdriver or hammer. I mean, it's really not that hard to clean them and take care of them, and you'd be able to sort of airbrush and do your kits with a little bit more control, I guess you could say. I mean, I got it in the beginning just to have fun with it, and I never intended to make this a living. I mean, but then like if you enjoy doing what you're doing, it's fine. I'm just suggesting that you might enjoy it a little bit more. I think you would be able to bang out kits a little bit faster, you know, with an airbrush. You can always do one of those cheap kits on eBay just to. I mean, they are cheap. You get what you pay for, but you could at least practice, mess with it. I don't know if they're cheap anymore with the economy now, but they used to be what, like $150 for a cheap compressor and kit and airbrush. No, I mean that works. I mean, if you're happy with it and you like doing with the pastels, then keep doing it. I just like the control of an airbrush versus trying to do pastels, you know. But I mean, if you're into washes and pastels, you can still make a kit look great. So I mean, the other thing too is just with an airbrush, like say you're gonna do pastels, but it's instead of doing with a brush painting a whole solid piece, you can airbrush a solid red, and then you can do stuff over it. Um, I mean, you could even use rattle cans too if you learn how to control them. Hey Helder, this is silly putty. You know those red eggs? Little toy red eggs that you buy? Just a big thing of silly putty. I don't know if you've ever seen them in Portugal. What, pale skin? Just whatchamacallit? You can use like whites and reds in there and a little bit of blues and make it pale looking. No problem, Helder. Well, I think if I remember correctly, it's not really pale skin, isn't it? More like kind of like almost like vampire, like zombie type skin, I guess. You could even do basic skin and then do like a wash of white over on top of it. You get to experiment and see how that would work. you could do is you could do like the modding effect. You know, like when I did the airbrush modding where you do those squiggly lines. What you could try to do is you can give her a basic skin tone color. You know, like a light color like this here, and then do like squiggly lines, but like washes with a paintbrush, and then after that's done, you could do like a whitewash on top of it and keep whitewashing it, and then you could sort of kind of create like little tiny veins, but the white will sort of take it away. You could try that. Sort of like modding, but without an airbrush, you know. It'll be I mean, you only have the head, right, and the hands. I don't think there's any, unless there's cleavage showing on that one. I'm not sure if that's the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, you could try. It's like, you know, like modding, but it's just with a paintbrush, you know, or molting. I don't know what they really call it, but whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's true. Terrell can. That's not a bad idea. You can sponge, but you could do a wet sponge, like a really really wet white sponge effect or whatever, where you have to like blow dry it, do a sponge effect, blow dry it again, and then sponge effect, make it really like wet, you know, like so the water doesn't like seep all over the place. Yeah, it doesn't have to be just paintbrushes. You could do a lot of sponge. You can find all kinds of sponges. Do you have like makeup sponges? You know, you can use those soft white makeup sponges. You could probably see what happens if you use like balls, cotton balls or whatever the hell they are. You could try if you got any towels with textures. There's all kinds of stuff you can experiment with. Yeah, if it's the one showing on her chest, it's the one I'm thinking about, the kit. But just attack it like a Bob Ross painting, you know, happy little mistakes. You never know, sometimes a mess up could look really, really cool. Get yourself cheap sponges too, you know. I buy the cheap sponges, you know, only because they got a lot more holes and stuff in them. And then what you do is just tear off the edges so you don't have the sharp edge, and then you can just kind of, you know, like pat onto your item with the sponge. You know, because what I like to do is I kind of sort of like to rip off the edges on them. What's up, Iceman? It's probably YouTube. They're probably they're probably screwing around with stuff again. Didn't like a bunch of stuff leak recently, so who the hell knows? I still expect in a few years that YouTube will get rid of all us low-level people, and it'll become just a cable channel tube, and everyone will move somewhere else. Good thing with this Harley is I won't have to worry about like masking off the whole entire legs to do like the shiny effect paints, because those are always a pain in the ass with this because the legs are so close together. I'm still in the sculpting mood, but I've been working on that Sabertooth kit. I still got to get the kit review video up, but this week went by so fast working on that kit because there's so much to it. It's not a small kit. Those 4 heads is what's taking up a lot of time. They were a lot of work. Tomorrow I'm taking a personal day. Gonna work on my bombshell Power Girl. I got up early today so I could get the lawn done, a couple other errands. So this way I don't have to worry about all that stuff this weekend. I think I did Terrell. I think I did. I'm not really feeling it. I'm very, very picky on sculpts now. I don't buy it just because it's the character I like. I gotta really love the sculpt now. Or customize it myself. Because I don't have a lot of room and funds for all this stuff. Like if somebody was gonna produce a Power Girl, if they wanted to ask me an opinion on the sculpt, I'd help them out, make it like a kick-ass sculpt. I do have his site. I think if it's the one I'm thinking of, I just even for an STL file, I gotta get somebody to print it out, and then I gotta prep it, paint it, fix it. So I have to really, really fall in love with it. I'm just looking it up real quick. Yeah, it's okay. I like his Mary Marvel though. The Mary Marvel Abe did was amazing, but the Power Girl, just not feeling it. I think it's because the chest is so it's like really low, and I don't know, just not feeling that one. Well, I hope you like my bombshell when I'm finished with it, Raccoon. I put a lot of time into it. I've been working on it for a long time, so it's only recently that I started painting her. I probably would have had her done if I, didn't have this real life emergency this past couple months, but now that I got a little bit more free time, been working on it again. I put a little extra effort into it, so I'm happy with it. I think it's probably one of my better personal customs. I did the skin about a week or so ago. I think this weekend I'm going to work on the outfit. I did the makeup and everything. So I just got to do the hair, the outfit, and then the base. Because she doesn't have a cape, so. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with her so far. And then when I have extra materials, I started my Jessie Quick Flash Bombshell. She's slowly getting there. I'm not really putting a lot of effort into her right now. It's just kind of like when I have extra materials. But speaking of the Jessie Quick Bombshell, that Abe Mary Marvel sculpt, I want to buy that sculpt not only to print it out for myself down the line, but I really like the head, and that head would be perfect for my Flash Bombshell custom I'm doing for myself. Because I've been looking for one where she's smiling, and that head probably looks perfect for it. Of course, I'll have to resculpt the hair and everything, but I think that's the one I'm going to try to get for that. Those are the only two bombshells I'm really like. I like all the bombshell designs, but I think Flash and Power Girl are my favorites. Also been putting a lot of late nights working on stuff, so I'm also almost finished with my Sideshow Storm custom. Just a side project I've been working on. And one of my regular guys really wants it. He's a huge Storm fan. So that'll be one that's hopefully done in another few weeks. Getting there on all these projects now. Plus trying to finish up some customs for commissions for people. Alright, so black. Let's see if there's any marks over here. Alright, we're looking good. Man, this camera hates to be touched. Alright, so we're going to use Spaztec colors on these. And sadly, once you open them up, they sort of go to shit. I haven't touched this since last year, so it's kind of all gelled up, and look at that, it's all messed up. Hopefully I have other bottles. Yeah, I do. I don't know if this is salvageable. Alright, so that bottle's shot. Alright, so what I like to do is I use gloss black, and instead of just doing a flat gloss black on her, what I like to do is mix up some of this metallic and black to give it that sort of that latex look. I'm not even going to attempt this silver metallic. I'm going to put this aside and mess with it at some other time. It's probably too bad to mess with. But this bottle is brand new, hasn't even been opened yet. It'll last. And this is probably half a bottle, I think. Is this caked up at the top, or is this, oh, it's just a cap. Yeah, for some odd reason, the silver just kind of, like, once you open it up, it's got like a shelf life. Kind of sucks, but it's just the way it is. Don't have any other silver, so at least I'll get through this project with it. Alright. Gonna throw a mask on for this only because this stuff stinks to all hell. And alright, so this is my lacquer airbrush. Alright, let's see if this is mixed up enough. Yep. Alright, so I don't have to overspray this area here, just enough to get on here. Alright, this stuff sort of dries fast, but not really. Some mess ups over here. It's not really super rough, brand new, but it's enough to sort of scrape it. But I'll show you what I'll do in a second. So we'll just do a heavy silver over it, just kind of fill it in. Alright, still a little bit of a spot up there, but I'm going to let this dry a bit, and then I'll come back to it and clean out the brush for now. Also make sure I don't spill this stuff. Alright, we'll mess with the mallet. But before I do the mallet, I was today I was sort of working on her bit, and I come to the conclusion that the only way to get this in here is to kind of do it at the end of the project. Because I tried doing a magnet, I tried doing another rod, and the problem is going in at an angle to get it in there to fit. So I just put a rod in here, and what I'll do is at the end, I'll take some eaves, I'll put a little eaves in here, and I'll let it sit. and then let it cure, and then after that I'll have to touch up eaves with some detailing and then paint the glove over afterwards. That's the only way I could really get this to lock in place. I want it to lock like right there. So before it was kind of down here more and I couldn't get it in. So this is going to be one of those sort of build it and paint it as you go, at least with this and this. Because this is a little bit heavy, and if you just do a little bit of an area with a little magnet, it still would kind of pop out. So I want this to stay in place at the end. So it's just a matter of painting it, put a little eaves in there, let it sit, and then touch it up with the eaves and sand it down, and then paint up this area with the glove. I'll just have to be very careful not to get any kind of eaves or residue on the skin once I paint it. That's the only way I could come up with this. So other than that, I think she's ready to go. I just got to do one more session of cleaning her up, get the dust off of her, and we can start painting her up next time. That's all I came up with, because if you notice, it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it. So messing around with this, if you're not careful, what happens is this was marking up this area here. See? So if I was to paint up the skin tone and then try to put this in at the end, and then if I'm not careful, I'll probably might scrape it and it'll be a nightmare to touch up in there. So it's better to just kind of put a little dab of eaves in there, put this in one shot, let it sit, and then do it. So that's what I came up with for this. Alright, so for the mallet, I wanted to make this rusty and sort of old looking. So we're going to just do some washes on it. So we have Citadel Warlock Bronze. I love this color. And then we have some copper. So we got our wax paper. I had a brush. Alright, so I'm not going to dry brush, we're going to try to just go messy on this. Is there any left in here? And this is the water and some rubbing alcohol. off. Yeah, it's got a nice older metal effect. I could go in with like, you know, a lighter metal and start dry brushing edges, which I might still do, but I'm not sure. Maybe like around here. But I really wanted to give it that old rusty look instead of like a perfect metal. Just a matter of just kind of like not trying to overthink it. Just kind of let it dry, wipe it off, let it dry, wipe it off. It's also too how you wipe it off. You know, like if you wipe it in this direction, you start pulling all that out. But if you kind of throw it on, but you pull it downwards, you kind of let it sit in those grooves a bit more. Not sure what the hell that is. A little caked up something in here. It's probably from the print I missed. That's right. And then what you do is grab a little paintbrush. That looks a little better. Punch out the lines a little bit more. Alright, it's got that nice old metal look to it. We can make it pop a little bit more. Alright, where is my fan brush? Here it is. I don't know if light steel would be too much. Should be okay. Alright, this we want to try to make sure we don't overdo it. So this we got dry brush. Just kind of Alright, I'd say that looks like a pretty decent worn out hammer. I don't know how well you can see it in the camera. Maybe this way a little bit, probably look a little bit better. So doing that gunmetal from AK Interactive base, and then giving it a good clear coat, and then doing washes on it. It looks like a futuristic, weird looking hammer. I think it'll fit good with her once it's on set up on her back. Don't really need this like, you know, don't really need to do any sealing on it or gloss coating because we already did the gloss coat, and just by putting this washing on it, it still looks shiny. It pulls in a lot of the light, but in person it doesn't pull in a lot of light, and it makes it look a little bit older. And then just doing a little bit of marks on there just makes it look like it's been hit. So I can put this aside. That'll work. Alright, let's see if I can fix this neck piece up a little bit. See if this is dried. It's a little bit dried. I don't know what happened. I thought I had this cleaned up over here, but cool thing about a lot of these metallics and gunmetals, most of them dry fairly fast. And then you can kind of get away with like sort of filling it back up again. It's kind of hard to show you on camera because if I try to get it in close, it'll just, the metallics will just bleed in the camera. You won't even see it. But I think one more coat of the silver should clear it up. Yeah. I'm just cleaning out the brush now because I don't like when these cake up if they dry too fast on you. It's a pain in the ass to clean the airbrush. Alright, so while that's drying, let's get this stuff out of my way. I think I could do a base coat of skin on Lola, and then this way I could start finding all the errors on her. I don't think there's anything else we had to do on her, right? I'm not missing anything, I don't think. I also got bugs to work on. The basketball. So other than the basketball, it's just a matter of paint. I don't think, let's see. So now if I remember correctly, before I took my hiatus, I did wash her up and sand her down. I think I might have to do another session of sanding. Yeah, because the tail is done. Tail goes here, which we can kind of glue at the end. Yeah, I think I need to do another prime and sand. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm seeing a couple things I need to kind of sand down and fix. I did clean her up pretty well though, considering it's been a while. So I remember there was a lot of mess ups all over, like around in here. But I got all that kind of cleaned up. Got some dust and crap. So I got to clean up this area over in here a bit. Just a little bit over in here. See how I get this down a little bit more. see if there's anything else I'm missing. Legs feel smoother compared to what I remember. See, it's kind of hard to tell even when you put primer on, but you sand down, you see there's like a lot of little scratches that start popping up when you have like red eaves and then primer. This arm feels pretty rough. Try not to break the hair. Yeah, this spot underneath here needs some putty. It's the only problem when you really start chopping up an item from polystone to eaves, because you can see all the different eaves I built on these legs, and you start running into a lot of scratches and divots, and it's kind of becomes a pain to really see if it's smooth or not between primer and getting ready to paint. See, even sometimes when you run your finger or your fingernail over stuff, it feels smooth, but then when you go to hit it with skin tone, you realize there's like scratches that you couldn't really feel. Polystone is great to work with, but sometimes it's also a pain, especially when you really chop it up. There's a little spot right here. So I gotta sand, I gotta get it back in here a little bit more. Definitely gotta sand the arms down. Alright, so there is some problems with this finger here. So we're going to correct this now. So now that I remember, I had to fix this up. Okay. It's been a while. We're going to correct it now. Alright. I'm going to try not to get my fingers too dirty with eaves, because I want to pull off that masking in a few. Don't need, actually, you know what? I gotta repair a part over there too, so I'm gonna repair that while mixing up some extra eaves. This way we have enough. I had to order some mold and resin today because a project I'm working on, and It looks like it all went up again in price. It used to be, I think I used to be able to get like a gallon kit of mold and a gallon kit of resin. It used to be like under $200 shipped back before the lockdowns, but now it's almost $300 shipped. It's gone up a lot. Even the ease has gone up too. And the sad thing, it's still cheaper to buy the gallon kit of resin and the gallon kit of mold and have it shipped than to actually go and pick it up. Because for me to pick it up, it would be, I would have to travel probably about 100 miles there and 100 miles back, if I remember correctly. And then between tolls and gas, it would be like, let's just say it's at least $50. Just say it was like a full tank of gas, and it's probably like, if I had to fill up my tank from scratch, you know, probably like $35, $40. And then just say tolls were $10. It's still cheaper to have them ship it to me. Now, if I was going to go and buy, like, you know, fill up my car with like 15 kits of like mold and resin, that's a different story, you know. Yeah, it's getting crazy with these prices, especially with shipping. Okay, so this knuckle and inside this hand is all messed up. It's all messed up in here. I mean, the only way I could, well, the only way I used to be able to justify is, like, say I went out and saw my college buddy in PA. So I'm here. If I come all the way over here to see him, and then if I was to come down to the the Smooth On store, but then I would have to go see where my parents used to live, but they don't live there anymore, and then I would have to make a circle around. So it'd be going from New Jersey to PA, around back to Jersey to come back home. Now I could go straight west to the place, but the tolls are absolutely insane now. Where is my... Well, Raz, don't you spend a lot of money on your 3D print resin, or is it fairly a decent price still? Where is my sculpting tool? There it is. So 40 a bottle, and then plus shipping too? Or you get like it free? Do you order like off Amazon? See, I would order off Amazon because you can get the mold and resin off Amazon, but I don't know the shelf life and where it's coming from. That's what scares me. Alright, that looks a little bit better than what it was. Nah, that's fine. I was just curious. Yeah. Alright, so I think that was the most screwed up spot, other than me just gotta clean up this part underneath her. Yeah. Clean up all this. Alright, so I gotta clean that up. This side looks pretty good. Not seeing anything major. Probably another sanded inside the hair area. A little bit on the face, not much. Looks pretty good. Yeah, alright, so I think I just need to kind of clean up that area. I think that was the biggest thing on the back of the knee. Kind of go over all these lines again. Get all the dust before I prime it. Actually, looks like there's some spots in here. Use a little smoothing out. Sometimes it's better just to squeeze some Aves on the area than to try to fill it with that putty. Looks like I missed that spot there too, so that's good. Alright, so we just got to do some cleaning up. Another session of priming, sand under the water, clean up with some of these scratches. There's a little bit of scratches around here I would have caught when I did the skin tone, and it looks like there might be some underneath the boob area, so we'll have to, yeah, so there's a lot more cleaning to do before she's ready for paint. I should have a day next week. I should be able to get in the garage and get this ready for the stream, so we can start getting her going. Should we do a golden skin tone on her? Or just like regular skin tone? Okay, you know what I do? So sometimes what I do, where is it? Here it is. Sometimes I'll circle if I see some heavy scratches. I'm using my headgear to see if I can find anything I'm missing. So there's a little here, here, a little bit over here. Probably some here. Tan look? Yeah, we could do tan. I guess that would be a little bit more orangey color, I guess. Not like old woman tan, right? Not like the crazy tan that's like leather, but just making marks on what to clean up. Yeah, I remember the fur was, I think, sort of like, I keep thinking it was brown, but I think it's more golden. But since this is a more realistic look to her. bit of a chunk missing under here. This is the tedious stuff I do during the day when I got to get this stuff ready for paint. That's about it. So I just need to get all those areas cleaned up and we should be pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I did get those stickers. Didn't I show it on one stream? I'm sure they're over here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I got them. They got to be in here somewhere. Yeah, here they are. Yep. We got them. So probably one of these two, I would think. Either, I guess, one of these three. Probably this one here, maybe, I guess. So like I say, the idea would be cut this out the best I can to all, you know, around the edge. Hopefully this one isn't scraped. It's a little bit of a mark here, but I think it should be okay. We have a second one. He did two different ones, so this is a little bit brighter color. So I'm probably this one put on the hair. Try to get it on as best we can, you know, and then once it's on and it's sealed, what I'll do is I'll go over with a sponge and we'll make it worn out like it's older, because I'm afraid that putting this on here over this kind of curve might not might look a little weird. I don't know, we're gonna experiment. We'll see how it looks, you know, and then seal it up and then like sponge it, make it look like an older shirt. That's kind of the idea. Yeah, for anybody who wants to know, this is Evolution X Studios. So he's got an Instagram, YouTube, and that's his information. So if you guys need decals made, you can always contact. I think his name is Frank, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Frank. So alright, so while I have some A's, so I repaired somebody's gambit hand for Sideshow, and what happened is this hand was really shattered. So when I put it together, I thought this piece was supposed to go in this direction. I was mistaken. So after I finished it up, we realized that it was supposed to come around this way. So I broke it and I twisted it, and I just didn't put any A's here. So I figure I'll do this right now, so this way next week on Monday I can sand it down and repaint it again and get it done. That's the only problem with shattered items. Whenever an item is shattered, it's very hard to get it back to where it was, especially even by pictures and stuff. Because it was broken here, here, I think here, and up there. Oh, The Boys is coming back? That's good. I probably should rewatch the last season to know where we're left off. So is the rumor true? What is it? Black Noir, is that his name? Is the kid from is the teenage kid from the Boys teenage show? The one that was kind of locked up in the prison? Or are they finally doing the clone of Highlander? Or whatever the hell is Homelander, that's it. Okay, one day I can sand that down and finish it up. Yeah, because didn't Black Noir die? So unless he comes back to life, I don't know. It would be kind of cool if they do the clone, because I know the clone in the comic book was like nuts. So I don't waste this ease. One of my many projects. Yeah, I know he killed him, so I'm just kind of wondering if it's, you know, what storyline they're going to go with, so. Okay, every time I sort of use up my eaves here, I gotta weigh this down a bit for this project. So I've just been throwing fishing lead all across here, kind of give it a nice center of gravity. Alright, let's wash out this brush so I don't lose this one. What was the TV show of the kids again? Was it Gen V or I forgot what it was. I like the blonde girl from that one of the boys, the one that grows large and small. She was kind of funny. Yeah, she was funny. I enjoyed her character. She in the beginning I didn't think I was gonna like her, and then as they developed her, I liked her more. You know what it is they're not crying every 15 minutes like most like movies now. Everybody's always crying or staring off to space. There's a lot of cursing, a lot of wackiness to it, so that's kind of why I enjoyed the character. But like in the beginning, I thought she was gonna be like a crying like character the whole time, but then she just not really cared. Yeah, that's in the beginning. Like I said, I was like, is this gonna be another one of these crying like movies where all these kids are always just crying all the time? But then they surprised me with it, so. I think the Gen V, the end of the season, was funny because they were all captured in that underground, and they were all kind of like worried, except the blonde one. She was just like, yeah, whatever. She was just like sitting there, like, yeah, just I don't care. I still gotta watch X-Men '97. I gotta figure out a time to binge all that. One thing that cracks me up about the boys, and I know this is pretty much the premise of it, but all the heroes, they never do anything to save anyone. There hasn't been like one episode where they actually saved anyone, which cracks me up. Now, I haven't read the boys in a long time, so I don't know if in the comic books they actually like save people or do anything. I know that's not what it's about, but I guess it's just more about behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even like a staged fake event, you know, would be kind of cool. They just stage something. The only reason why I say is because you know when uh, Homelander was in the airplane and he was like, "I can't save them, I can't save them." So it makes me wonder, like, how powerful is he? Like, is he really that powerful where he could save everyone in the plane, or he just didn't really want to? You know. The reason I asked that is because I read an article a while back saying the creator of The Boys says that Homelander is stronger than Superman. Um, so while I could care less if that was the case, I would like to know how or why. Like, how strong is he? You know? Yeah, I would just like to see his power level. That's all I'm really like interested in. I would really just kind of like to see how, like, how is strong is he? Where's that power level? You know, just to see what he can and can't do. I don't know. It's just kind of my the one pet peeve I have. I would just like to gauge his power. Can he fly in outer space? Does he not want to? You know, I don't know. It's just something I've always wondered. I know he's sick as hell. Like, if he is powerful like Superman, he won't stop killing anyone. I understand that, but I just want to know his level. I don't know if in the comic books he's done anything to like give a better power level. I don't know if you guys know. It's the only thing I hate about these closed legs. It's so hard to get a nice good blend in there. Omni-Man? I have no clue who that is. I think I stopped reading The Boys around like issue 18, I think. If I remember correctly. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I remember I went into my Mac Mini and I put it on one of the streams. I saved it. I have a whole list of stuff to watch. I just don't have it in me anymore. I don't know. It's sort of like as I don't even play video games much anymore. I just have no love to like watch TV shows and stuff. I find myself doing other things now. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, it's either got some kind of message in it, or it's just really bad acting or story. I just, have no desire to watch anything anymore. I've been, lately, when I do have free time at night, I've sort of just been, popping on the lights to my, display case. And I'll just kind of reading some old trade paperbacks of comics. Went back and reread Kingdom Come from DC. I just love that storyline. Like, I saw the Ghostbusters. I think we talked about that last time, and it was just so. It was good, but it was like. I think the girl and the ghosts were just so annoying after a while. Yeah, that's why I've been. See, I read the Boruto comic, from Naruto every month. And you gotta go on to like fan sites to read it because you can't read it from the localizers or the like the official people who transcribe it because they change the story on you. That blows my mind because they're like, well, we want it to say this. We don't want it to be what what Japan intends it to be. That's crazy to me. It's like if you don't like it, then make your own thing. Yeah, they're called localizers, and what they do is they translate the Japanese manga, but instead of translating it to what it's supposed to be, they'll translate it to where this character is in love with the female, and this, they'll like, or they'll put in pronouns or something, like, and they say that, oh, well, this is the way it should be instead of the way Japan intends it to be. That's why I heard Japan is gonna use AI now to translate all their manga books so they could put them out of business. You know, like say you wrote a story and your character is straight, but the localizer's like, well, I don't want them to be straight, so I'm gonna change it. You know, it's like, well, that's not your IP. You can't do that. I mean, I heard Japan is kind of pissed off about it too. You know. But yeah, that blows my mind. That it's like I can't believe they're actually doing that, which is crazy. That's why you got to go to like fan sites that do translations, and you'll get the actual storyline. See, what it is like the Japanese, companies think that that's what Americans want. It's not what we want. You know, we don't want that over here, but it's what they're pushing. You know, they need to just make their. Yeah, but that's why manga is like is like blowing like comic books out of the water because everyone's moved to it. Because like I said, I read the Boruto, and if you go to like fan sites that translate it, it's like really good. And then if you go to like the localizers who are like they're not really official, but they're like the company based translators that do it for like websites that you pay for or whatever, and they change up the story. They also too so I I'm into Naruto, and the one character Shikamaru, he uh he had a cigarette in the manga, and he smoked, but in the whatchamacallit, in the what was it, the in the manga he had the cigarette when he was crying, but when they brought it into America, they took out the cigarette. Which is funny as hell. It's like, oh my god, the character has a cigarette. We can't show that. Oh no. Well, see, the raccoon. Here's the thing. It's like DC says, okay, this character smokes. You can't change that. It's done. But what it is it's the Japanese intellectual properties is only made for Japan. But when it comes over to America, because people translate it, it's not like official translation. It's just like these sites that translate it, but they translate it in a way where they feel this is what the character is really saying, even though that's, see, it's not like Japan has a control over how they're translating it. You know what I'm saying? It's a very weird situation. That's why I go to the specific sites to read the manga that I like to read, because it's not like the it's not like American journalists, reading, like it's hard to explain. Um, It's not like official, that's what I'm saying. So when they bring it over here, if it's like company based, they're like, oh no, no, we can't show that. It's so stupid. It's kind of funny too because even my friend is doing it. He's buying up all like the old DVDs and Blu-rays now because even streaming, they're like they're whatchamacallit, they're deleting scenes now and they're deleting backgrounds and they're deleting all kinds of stuff. So like pretty soon you know, all these old DVDs and tapes are going to be really in demand because it's not all, you know, changed up on people. And the other thing too is I heard a lot of people are going back to old video games. I saw a lot of streamers now, they're kind of like going back to the old video games now. Yeah, I probably should have never sold all my DVDs, but I did rip them and they're all in digital files now, so. I always said it, it's a modern age book burning, that's what it is. It's like that that one Seinfeld episode, you can't even whatchamacallit. Who is it, I forgot. The Puerto Rico parade, I think it was. I think that's what it was. They deleted that off of streaming. Hey, what's up, Raphael? And what was it in the Lilo and Stitch animated cartoon or whatever it was? The original, they put Stitch into a washing machine, but then they edited it out and they now he gets thrown into a cabinet, something like that. Yeah, Raccoon, you kind of miss it. There's a big thing going on. I forget the name of the video. Oh, it's like, what is it? Soul Blade or Soul something? So originally the female was like in a sexy outfit. And then I guess a couple of the people cried on Twitter. So the company listened to that 1% of people. And then all of a sudden their sales tanked. So now they put the skin in the game that you can buy. And it's too late though or something. I don't know. There's something like that's going on. Stellar Blade, that's it. Yep. That cracks me up. It's like, why would you listen to the 1% of people? Just make the game and put it out there. But nope, you want to listen to the crybabies, and there you go. You don't make any sales. Yeah, I agree with you, Raphael. You just don't give them money, but still, they still do it anyway. Yeah, if you didn't update the game, Raz, that's what I remember watching a video. Did you see what they did with the Silent Hill remake? I watched the video this morning. So if you ever played the old Silent Hill game, the new remake, what they did to the main character, Yeah, so they're really pushing all this stuff now. It's kind of funny. That's why I'm kind of thinking about not selling some of my video games anymore. Like, maybe I should just hold on to them. I don't know. I just don't think companies want to make money anymore. I think they're just kind of. We got to get the message out. It's not about making money. I don't know. That's all right. I'm pretty happy with everything I got now and what I'm doing. So, but then again, I don't think they're really focused on our generation as much. They're trying to cater to the new kids. Like, I think they realized that, like, what am I, Generation X? They could care less about my generation right now. It's gotta brainwash the kids. That's the point. Alright, I gotta bend the tool to get in here somewhere. Their goal is when we're long gone, it won't matter. Okay, can I do this? I don't know. Maybe I can do this. Let's see. I'm with you, Raphael. That's why I'm voting for the meteor to come. Just end it all. I have to let the paint dry before I can really get into that area. Yeah, I gotta let this dry before I really get between the legs. Sort of work on the feet a bit. So I'm gonna do the gloves and feet in a flatter leather look. I think that looked better that way. I had a bent brush. I think it destroyed it the other day. All I do is I usually bend these when they start going a little bit bad on me. Be easier to do some of these areas with one. I'll have to do it another day once the black paint is a little bit drier. Hopefully I'll have the trim done by next weekend. I mean next week. I get in there with some pastels too. Clean it up a bit, make it a little bit darker. Yeah, a little bit of dark pastel will kind of blend this together a little bit better. grab something to drink real quick. Oh, I got the bayonetta almost together. Sadly, when I pulled her out of the box and I started putting the base together, the monster hands didn't line up at all. So I had to do a video on correcting all of that. And the guns are almost ready to be painted. I decided to take the gems out of the guns and put in gems. They painted them in. But other than that, most of the figure is okay. And I've thrown away the box. I already threw away most of the foam. The box was humongous, and I'm probably not selling her ever. Hopefully she goes to the grave with me. If not, I'll sell her as is, without a box. As much as I want to keep boxes for all my statues, that box was just way too friggin' big. But I absolutely love the statue. So left the hand. So left one is red. No, right one is red. This one's red. Alright, so I'm not going to make these gloves and boots super clean. So we're going to do it the messy way. A little bit of a miss spot with the bronze stuff, but we'll get that in a second or two. Fix that later. So what we're going to do, grab this piece here, grab effectively. Soften it with some water, grab some of the red, we're going to move her out of the way so I don't mess her up. So just by putting a darker base and then sponging some lighter color, And for those tougher areas, pretty easy. Looks like a leather. Darker red. Make sure if any areas we miss. And get some satin varnish. Satin's that mix of matte and gloss, so it's not going to be glossy, but it's not going to be flat. It'll give it a little, make it look like a little leather that's not just flat. And anything that looks like it's not, you know, this little white stuff, it's gonna, if you hit it with a blow dryer, it'll come right out. Got one glove down. So we'll do the same thing with the black, but we'll do it with some of the mahogany. Hey, what's up, Muddle Wall? How's it going? So I'm going to do the same thing on the boots with this stuff. It's just, I like the idea of just making it messy without trying to sit here and mask for 15 hours. That's the thing I like about Harley is you can make her look messy and not perfectly clean, and it fits the character. So if you're ever working on a Harley and you mess up, you can just start making her messy and it's going to work out fine. You got COVID again? I thought COVID was over. thought they said there's something new coming. Something worse. Well, I guess now that it's all over, I like how when the coof hit, there was no such thing as the flu anymore. I had to change doctors because of all that stuff, because I called up the doctor's office and I said, yeah, I have a sinus infection. And the lady on the phone said, nope, you have COVID. I said, no, I got a sinus infection. I'm bleeding from my nose like I normally have done for the past 15 so years. No, you got COVID. So I went to urgent care, and sure enough, I had a sinus infection. So I told that doctor's office, I'm done with you guys, and I'm going to find a new doctor. I don't know how somebody can tell you over the phone you have it, but that's what they did to me. Yeah, that I know of, raccoon. I know that all too well. So Monteval, now that you have it though, is it bad, or is it just you, like, is it like serious, or is it just you got COVID? Am I even allowed to say that on YouTube anymore? Do you get like banned for saying that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it hits people differently. I might have had it a few times, but I know the one time I did have it and got tested, I had a huge backache for about the night I went to sleep, and then the next day I was fine. It felt just like a regular flu. Now the question is, were you doing something you shouldn't have been doing seeing at the movie? You know, were you weren't doing any like TikTok challenges in the bathroom, were you? I don't know. These days, you kids and your TikToks doing these challenges in the bathroom stalls get you to coof. Well, that's what I do when I get sick. I take zinc, or anytime I feel like feeling like I'm gonna get sick, I take vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc, and I did that all throughout the pandemic to now. So, yeah, I don't know. I when I had it, I just had a really bad backache. Like my whole back was killing me. But it only lasted. It was like it felt like a 24-hour bug. I don't know. I did find out though that that medicine, those pills they give you, they I guess I'm allergic to that, or it just doesn't agree with me. Yeah, you basically get yourself zinc, get yourself vitamin D, vitamin C, and anytime you get sick, you should be popping those things like crazy. Well, I mean like once a day at least. I don't know. I think you were doing something monovolt. You were just doing some bad hoodoo stuff at the movie theater. You're just not telling us. I mean, we won't judge you for it. It's alright. not completely black. What the hell? Is there something in here? It's got a primer on it. I hope the I think I gotta chisel it down a bit. I think those pliers might have crushed it. Okay, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. I'll have to sand that down. Had to grip on that for such a long time now. And that's easy fix. Easy fix. Slowly getting there. Yeah, I gotta somehow chisel that down because the hair is hitting it. Almost there. Getting there. So what I'll do is I'll finish up the red trim. I don't want to. I gotta let this dry, so I'll finish up the red trim around there and there. And then next week, what we could do is we could do the red. The red's tricky because we're gonna do the base chrome, and then we're gonna do the clear red on top of it. We'll let that dry for a couple days or a week, and then what we'll do is we'll gloss coat the rest of the body. So we'll gloss coat the black and the red at the same time, and make it really shine. And then after that, finish everything up. So the hair, I'm going to wrap rope around it, color rope. And then once the rope is done, we can add the decals to the eyes. I got to make sure that this piece is sanded down and go back in there and flush, fix that up. Then I think what I'm going to do is, once this is all done, these diamonds, I'm going to paint in flat black. Right? Yeah, those are just no red diamonds on her. So it's going to be I think what we'll do is I'll mask it off and I'll sort of sponge it, and we'll make this like leather black diamonds, and then leather black boots, and then we'll do a leather black necklace too, I guess. Just to kind of break it up a little bit more. And then for the base, I'm thinking just like more of a bronze base, you know. Sort of like this bronze up on the here, but a little bit more of it, you know. I think that'll work. Yeah, it's I got a lot of sun coming in the studio from the window, and it's I guess it's washing out a lot of the color right now. Once the gloss red is on there, it'll pop a lot more. It'll come together. It's just that doing the candy coat red is it's not that hard, but it's hard when you have to do, like, you know, the Harley Quinns I did with the legs fully you know, candy coated. Because it's so close in here, to mask that off without ripping any of that stuff up is a nightmare. That's the only problem with the candy coat. Now, if her legs were spread apart a little bit more, it's easier. But that's the only problem with that. But I like the hair though. The hair looks pretty good on her. It's not super yellow, which I'm not really a fan of trying to do super yellow. Yeah, I think once we just get past the red part, and then what I'll do is when I do the red, I'll let her dry, and I'll do the gloss coat on my own. Because what I'll have to do is I'll have to mask off the skins here, the legs, the chest, and this hand there, and then I'll have to gloss coat it. That's kind of something I gotta really like do focused on. I can't really just do it on stream, and then like, because I'm gonna have to probably have the fans on in the studio. I gotta make sure the first coat goes on okay, but doesn't like peel or crack anything, and then then really gloss it up, let it dry, and then I gotta pull it off at a certain time so I don't get all that flaking. Candy coat's a pain in the ass. I mean, it's good if you're gonna do it like on a motorcycle or a car. But when you're doing it on a statue and you're only focusing on one part, when you start to pull it apart, all that flaking becomes a nightmare. And then if the flaking flips over onto the item, it's still sort of tacky and it grabs it and you can't pull it off. So that's the only problem with candy coating. It's a real pain in the ass. I really don't like to do it too much unless I know I could do the whole item without screwing something up. Well, we really want to make this look pretty decent, so. Alright, I think this is what we're going to call it, but if all goes well by next week, oops, I'll have Lola ready for paints. We'll start her skin. And but we'll do Harley first. We'll get her rolling with that red outfit, and then we could get Lola going. And then so if I could get the skin tone on Lola, pretty much, maybe I don't know. I'll see if I could do a base skin tone. See if there's any errors, so I could just dive into the stream and start working on it. Unless I start early, we'll see what happens. Play it by ear. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it for today, and see what I could get ready for next week. But once we sort of get her done, and we're slowly getting her halfway done, hopefully by then we can start getting Raz to print up the Jessica Rabbits, and we'll start the whole voting process on all that, and we'll start getting those prepared for after these are done. Alright, so that's where I'm going. I'm heading out for a little bit. So thanks for stopping by, guys, and have a good weekend. Model Vault, take care of yourself. And I'll see you guys next week.